July 4th is not the 250th anniversary of America becoming an independent country.
No, it quite literally is the 250th anniversary of America becoming an independent country. But sure, let's hear you, the American who just hates America, who refuses to leave America. Let's hear what you have to say.
July 4th is the 250th anniversary of America stealing this nation, stealing this land from Native people while simultaneously spreading disease to those Native people, killing and raping those Native people to be able to call America their home.
The Declaration of Independence, July 4th, happened 170 years after the settlers arrived and encountered those Native Americans. You do understand that, right? We were declaring our freedom from the British with the Declaration of Independence, with the 4th of July. You want everybody to apologize for what we, not us, but our ancestors did to the indigenous peoples. Okay, sure. Right after you explain to me why this is the only conquest in human history that has to come with some inherited apology by people who were living hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years after said conquest occurred. You think that before Europeans arrived, that this continent was basically at peace, that there were all of these tribes living in harmony with nature, with each other, and then the white man just showed up and invented violence. That's just not true. It's a myth. You ever heard of the Black Hills? Oh, I know you haven't. Sacred Lakota land taken by America, the most famous stolen land case in this country. The Lakota took the Black Hills from the Cheyenne by force around 1776, the same decade that America was founded. And then the Cheyenne took them from the Kiowa before that. Conquest on top of conquest on top of conquest by the natives. You ever heard of Crow Creek? Again, I know you haven't. It's in South Dakota. Nearly 500 men, women, and children were massacred. They were also mutilated and scalped. That was in the year 1325, a century before Columbus was born. You know, the bad white man who just brought all the other bad white men with him. You know, the tribes of the Pacific Northwest, they ran hereditary slave societies. In some places, a quarter of the population was enslaved. I know you haven't heard of the Comanche, but just let me tell you, they built an actual empire on raiding and captive slave trade, and they drove the Apache off of the southern plains entirely. And I'm sure you've heard of the Aztecs. I know you don't know anything about them, but they were so brutal to their neighbors that when Cortez landed, tens of thousands of native warriors joined him to take them down. And one anthropologist ran the per capita numbers. The warfare deaths in many of the tribal societies were higher than 20th century Europe. So, you know, that's how much they were killing each other.